Today's video is going to be an ASMR audiobook reading of Still More Tales to Give You Goosebumps, special edition for 10 spooky stories. We're going to be reading an old story today. Now, this might be my first and last ASMR audiobook reading. This is my first and last one. I don't plan on doing any more after this, but if you guys like it and give me suggestions on books I can read for ASMR audiobook reading, I'll definitely do it. But I'm more known for my ASMR food reviews. Other than that, I got 4 videos coming out today. Their times are planned, so this video will come out at 1 p.m. The second video will come out at 3 p.m. The third video will come out at 5 p.m. And the next video will come out at probably about 10 p.m. So let's get into the reading. An old story. Rats. I slammed the kitchen cup. Got 4 doors. Dad forgot to go to the store again. My 10-year-old brother John strolled in the kitchen chomping on the last of the Oreos. Give me that, I yelled, snatching the half-eaten cookie out of his hand. Ew, it's all slobbery. I stuffed it in my mouth anyways. That's how hungry I was. John leaned against the fridge. Dad said he'd go to the market today. That's what he said yesterday, I replied, and the day before. My father has his own store, Sperling Opticals, where he sells eyeglasses. It wasn't inventory time and he worked late every night. My mother just got a new job as the mayor's campaign manager. She never came home before midnight. The doorbell rang. Hey Tom, maybe it's Becca, John teased. Shut up. Becca was a new girl in school. She had long, shiny brown hair that she tucked under a Baltimore Orioles cap. I loved the Orioles, and I thought Becca was cute too. I peered through the window by the door. A tall old lady stood on our front steps. She wore a floppy black hat with a big rose pin to the brim and blue coat. She carried a big black purse and suitcase. Who is it? Jonathan asked. I don't know. The old lady rang the doorbell. I unlocked the door. Wait, Jonathan warned me. She is a stranger. She's just an old lady, I said to Jonathan. What can she do? When I opened the door, the lady's face forced myself to eat the prune. It wasn't that bad. Aunt Dahlia offered me the plate. I have another. Now that Aunt Dahlia was around to watch his mom and dad worked later than ever. Aunt Dahlia did all the cooking. She made us eat prunes every day. I didn't like them, but I didn't have much of a choice. It was prunes or nothing. She's nice and everything, John said one day, but what is she doing here? I didn't know, but we were about to find out. I felt when I woke up Saturday morning, itchy. My legs felt stiff. When I got off bed, I went to the kitchen for some cereal. Mom and Dad had already left for work. John trudged into the kitchen all on show with all my bags and he moaned. I stared at him. His pants were hiked up on a high waist. His stomach was stitching out like he had a little bit of belly. But John had been really skinny. He walked over the fridge. That's when I noticed on top of his head, right in the middle of his normal thick curly back, there was a big bald spot. John, what happened to your hair? I asked again. He cupped it. What did I say? I can't hear you. What happened to your hair? I repeated. John up to the top of his head. My hair was. What do you mean? What's wrong with it? You have a big bald. I stopped because now he was staring at me a weird way. Tom, he began. When did your forehead get so big? My hand flew to my forehead. Normally was hair there, curly black hair just like John's, but all I felt was a smooth bare skin. I raced to the bathroom mirror. When I saw myself, I gasped. I was going bald and was a gray hair. It was 2 patches of gray hair on my temple. What's going on? I cried and tugged at my hair. A clump came out of my hand. I stared at it. I couldn't believe it was happening. Maybe we got some bad shampoo. John's voice shook. I'm calling Mom, Dad. I said, maybe we're sick. We need a doctor. Aunt Dahlia suddenly appeared in the mirror behind me. My, don't you look handsome, she had said. Handsome, I screamed. I'm going bald. I tried to push her. I called my mom, Dad, but she blocked me right away, gripping my soul. She was pretty strong for an old lady. Don't you bother your parents, she warned. There's nothing to worry, but the doorbell rang. I got it. Aunt Dahlia chirped. She scurried off to the door. In a few minutes, the house was filled with old ladies. All Aunt Dahlia's friends, they come for a game of bridge. Aunt Dahlia explained, we're going to teach young boys how to play. I can't, Aunt Dahlia, I protested. I got football practice this afternoon. Aunt Dahlia expression, you're not going anywhere, young man, she turned. John added. Young man, she turned to John, neither are you. Take this tea tray into the living room. Now march. She shoved us in the kitchen door. Why is Aunt Dahlia so mean all of a sudden? John whispered. Our hair is falling out and she doesn't even care. My stomach lurched. Something was weird going on. Aunt Dahlia's friends squealed when John and I appeared. One of the tiny women, well-saluted girls, took this tea tray from me and pulled me beside her on the couch. My name is Lillian. Aren't you sweet? You're going great nicely. I flashed a glance at John. She's graying. You're graying nicely, Lillian giggled. I mean, you're growing, of course. A plump woman in a flower dress sat beside me. John, I'm Mimi, she said. I have a very nice retirement fund. Enough for 2 to live on. Good for you, John said. A tall woman said, don't hug the boys, ladies. Give us all the chance to meet them. Just wait your turn, Martha. Lillian clasped at my hands and smiled. Aunt Dahlia brought a plate of sandwiches. How's everyone getting along? Splendidly, Mimi replied, giving John a hand to squeeze. Boys, I'm out of milk, Aunt Dahlia said. Would one of you please run to the store for me? I will, John. I will, John. Both of them jumped at the same time. I said, I'm first. I cried. I raced out of the house. Then I remembered my bald head. What if I ran into someone from school? I sneaked back inside and grabbed a baseball cap to cover it. Those old ladies are sure acting weird, I thought. I hurried down the street. It was almost there. I stopped with a shudder. The thought I had just then was too weird, but I couldn't shake it. Those old ladies are flirting with me, I realized. Yuck. Maybe I should run for it, I thought, but I remembered John helpless with the old ladies. I couldn't do it. I couldn't leave him alone. The bell on the door twinkled as I entered the store. I grabbed a quart of milk and sat on the counter. We have a special on actinoids if you're interested, the cashier said. Senior citizens discount. I stared at her. Senior citizens? No thanks, I muttered. I paid for the milk and left outside. I glanced at myself, the straw on my face. I screamed. It was covered with wrinkles. Maybe the glass in the windows were warped, I thought. Maybe my eyes were playing tricks on me. I squirted. I started. I looked horrible. My skin was all wrinkled up. My hair was gray. My head was practicing bald. My hands were yellow and bloodshot. I was turning into an old man. I began to shake. This can't be happening, I thought. I'm only 12. I shouldn't be old for another 60 years. I hurried home. Aunt Dahlia did this to me. I realized I've got to find a way to stop her. John was hunched on the sofa, smothered by the old ladies. I barely recognized him. His hair had turned completely white. His face was wrinkled up like a prune. I grabbed by arm, dragged him in the hall. Where are you going, boys? Aunt Dahlia. It's a guy thing, I bluffed. We escaped and we're turning into old man, John wailed. It's like someone cast a spell on us. Not just anyone, added our own aunt. Come on, let's check her room. We gotta figure out what she's up to. Anything to get us away from Mimi, John grumbled. We tiptoed across the hallway to the guest room and carefully shut the door. You check her purse, I whispered. I'll search the suitcase. I clawed through the suitcase. I found nothing but blouses, sweaters, scarves, and dresses. Then I checked at the top of the dresser. I pulled open the top of the drawer. I lifted up a small glass jar. Did you find something? John asked. Shh, I thought I heard a noise in the hallway. Something's coming. Hide. We dived under the bed. The bedroom door opened. I could see Aunt Dahlia's feet as she crossed the room. Oh no, the dresser. Did I shut the drawer? I couldn't remember. Aunt Dahlia stood in the front of the dresser for a minute. I held my breath. Dahlia, it was Mimi. Where are the boys? Quiet, Aunt Dahlia scolded. Shut the door. Mimi stepped into the room and closed the door. They didn't escape, and did they? They were getting so nice and old. Those prunes worked wonders. They must be in their room, Aunt Dahlia whispered. Don't worry, they won't get away. That little one is cute, Mimi said. I'll take him. Lillian, she wants to marry Tom. Marry me, I squeezed John's arm. Keep me from yelling. He turned his eyes toward a horrified Aunt Dahlia was turning us into old men as the old ladies could marry us. We all get a house next door to each other. When I'll move the floor, Mimi went. That's what the boys can get her. First you have to pay me the fee, Aunt Dahlia insisted, then we'll talk. John and I held our breaths as their shoes clomped past us and out the door. We called out from under the bed. Did you hear that? I whispered. Aunt Dahlia is selling us to old ladies. She turned us into old men so they could marry us and move to Florida. John pointed to the small glass jar I still held in my hand. What's that? He demanded. I squinted at him. Most of the writing was too small. Then I saw words anti-aging wrinkle cream. Maybe it'll help us with our wrinkles, I whispered. John crammed the jar and opened it. He rubbed some of the cream on his face. Like magic, his wrinkles instantly began to disappear. That must be the antidote, I cried. We found it. We can't turn ourselves young again. Aunt Dahlia burst in the room. There you are, she shouted, reaching for the jar. Give me that. No way, John clutched the jar, darted into the bathroom, and dashed behind him and locked the door. Aunt Dahlia pounded. Open up. give me that wrinkle cream or you'll be sorry. I snatched the cream from John, smeared it all over my face. Then I checked myself out in the mirror. Quickly, my wrinkles disappeared. My hair turned black again. I started growing it. Worked. Come on before I break the door down. Aunt Dahlia groaned. Come on, ladies. 1, 2, 3, heave. I could hear them all throw their weight against the door. The lock began to give. Stupid cheap blocks, I muttered. What are we gonna do? John asked. If she gets us, she forced to feed us their weird prunes until we're old again. Bang, bang, bang. The door crashed open. John and I cowered behind the shower curtain. Get the cream, Aunt Dahlia yelled. Stand by wished of emergency prune juice. She called at the jar of cream in my hands. The other old ladies grabbed John. No, I cried, clutching the wrinkle cream. I wrenched myself away and escaped the kitchen. Aunt Dahlia chased me. I backed up against the refrigerator. The door was open. I could feel the cold there. You can't get away now, Aunt Dahlia cackled. She closed in. I got away. I yelled. I reached into the fridge for something to throw at her. Anything. My hand wrapped around the handle of the pitcher in one swift movement. I grabbed the pitcher and tossed the liquid in my face. Ah, Aunt Dahlia screamed. Brown liquid dripped from her face. No, not the prune juice. I gasped in shock as her teeth wrinkled up like her paper. Her teeth and her hair fell out. Her face puckered like a rotten apple. Wrinkle cream, she moaned. Get me the wrinkle cream. But it was too late. In seconds, she shriveled up to nothing and disappeared in a puff of smoke. What have we done with Aunt Alia? Mom asked when Dad came home. She was evil, John cried. She turned us into old men, I explained. Okay, boys, Dad chuckled. Joke's over. Now tell us where your mother's aunt is. My aunt, Mom cried. I thought she was your aunt. All the nuts are your side of the family, Kate, Dad insists. Maybe so, but she's not my aunt. They stared at each other in shock. My mom clutched at her heart. Then she threw her arms around us and hugged so hard. We practically choked to death. We left our sons with a total stranger. We must be the worst parents in the world. You're not so bad, are you sure? Just don't let it happen again. Yeah, John added. It's big time. I checked myself carefully in the mirror before school on Monday. All my hair had grown back and I thought I saw a touch of gray in it still, but that could have been my imagination. I sat alone at lunch that day. As I ate my ham sandwich, I spotted Becca, that girl with the original original hat. She crossed the room. She was coming towards me. My heart pounded. She stopped at my table. Mind if I sit here? No, I stammered. I couldn't believe it. She actually wanted to sit me. I stared at my sandwich for a minute. When I glanced up, she was smiling shadily at me. I didn't know what to say, so I looked and bited my sandwich. She unpacked her lunch, a prune sandwich on rye, 3 prune cookies on the counter of prune juice. My jaw dropped. Becca saw me staring. My Aunt Susan came to visit, she explained. She packed my lunch. She paused and added, I don't get it. She really is into prunes. I handed herself half of my ham sandwich. Eat this, I told her, and run for your life. Ooh, okay. Well, okay guys, that's my ASMR audiobook. That's my ASMR audiobook reading of Goosebumps, an old story. This will be my first and last one of these, unless if you guys suggest another story. I got a couple more short stories in this book. Hopefully I can read more of them in the future, but other than that, that's my ASMR reading. That's my ASMR audiobook reading of short story, an old story. And if you guys like this video, please like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace, period.